Welcome back to another episode of Tactical Pineapple Rides, where once again, I'm Tactical Pineapple, and we are fucking riding. Well, originally, I didn't think this was going to be a fair weather ride because, to be completely honest, when I got on my bike after work, it was raining. Stopped off at a local pet store to take a look at what they had for guinea pigs because we're considering getting our smaller daughter a guinea pig. They didn't have anything. Come back out, sun's out. Well, sun's out, guns out, folks. That's the saying, right? Well, it's shitty weather, so I'm wearing a sweatshirt. So if I'm bringing the guns out, we're going to do it in conversation. It's 2A time, folks. We'll do that vroom vroom, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, welcome back. Before we get into too much of this, I do have some 2A related news I would like to share. But first, you're going to have to go down into the description of this video, click the link that says join the Discord, join us, get in on the conversation, and you will be able to see the links that I'm going to talk about, but I will also put a link to this GoFundMe down in the description as well. Fellow community member, friend of ours, been on the show several times, will probably be back on again soon, is currently dealing with a 2A Karen, and they have a GoFundMe set up. They're looking to raise a couple $1,000s to pay for a lawyer to literally help them be able to use a range that is on their own personal property, protected by the amendments of the Constitution, also protected by the laws of the state of Tennessee. So it seems like a pretty cut and dry case, but we need to make sure they win something like this because it sets a horrible precedent if they don't. Karens all across this country will be taking people to court simply because they don't like something. And if we allow them to win this one, who knows how many more they'll win in the future before we finally get an overturned ruling on something similar and we can actually move forward. All that being said, Josh of Black Diamond Guns and Gear have the GoFundMe set up. I believe they are looking to raise a total of $50,000 because we all know lawyers aren't cheap, court's not cheap, and lawyers who deal with the Second Amendment are even less cheap. They've got themselves a good attorney. They've got a good chance of taking care of this. But at the end of the day, it is not going to be cheap. Now, Josh is not the type of person, Josh are not the type of people, I should say, who want to ask for help. They've kind of bit the bullet and said, we need help. We need to reach out to make sure that this is a true success because they understand the implications if they do not win. They have already put it out there that they don't know exactly what the legal costs are going to be. They know they've already got some bills starting to trickle in because, number one, retainers, all that shit. But as they move forward, they want to make sure they have enough to cover it. Now, don't worry. These guys are not the type who are going to turn around and use the money on something stupid if the money isn't worth, the cost of the legal fees. Josh has already said flat out, any money that is over the amount that has been basically paid for legal fees will go directly to GOA and FPC, which, if you know me, you know my channel, you know that the Gun Owners of America and the Firearm Policy Coalition are the gun charities, I guess you could call them, of choice around here. We don't believe in the NRA, so it is literally left us with nationally the Gun Owners of America and the Firearms Policy Coalition. Each and individual state may have somebody who works well for them. I know Minnesota has somebody Tundra Tactical really likes. I know the Virginia Citizens Defense League, they exist. There are places all over this country worth donating your money to that deserve it more than the NRA. But right now, we need to ensure that somebody like Josh are able to use their range, and they set precedent that works in the favor of pretty much everybody else who could potentially end up in a Karen situation like this. So, without further ado, we're going to get into some other news along the Second Amendment community, but not the type of shit that we're used to hearing. I want to discuss a movie that actually had very high entertainment value, but holy shit, were the guns fucking wretched. And if you aren't already familiar with it, there are memes floating around, but I'm referring to the Tomorrow War. Number one, if you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon Prime. It is free if you have a Prime membership. Go watch it. Support Chris Pratt. He is a conservative slash moderate, but he is definitely on the side of liberty. He is a gun guy. He is a true individual who believes in, the same sort of things that we do. He's not a socialist, he's a patriot. So I believe everybody knows that already. But the Tomorrow War is available now on Amazon Prime for streaming. I definitely recommend it. I found it very entertaining. So long as I didn't think about the guns. So I'm not going to do any spoilers or anything like that. But basically the premise of the movie involves a bunch of individuals being drafted into war who have no experience handling or operating firearms in most cases, and they are being handed an AR variant rifle, I guess, slash pistol. I don't know. I guess it is approximately a 7.5-inch long barrel with an extremely heavy PS90 style stock, a fucking god-awful forward control system, but it does have a giggle switch, folks. It has a giggle switch. So, if we know anything about individuals who have no ability to fire a firearm, the best thing you can do is shove a fully automatic rifle variant into their hands. All of that, 100%, is facetious, obviously. You don't shove a fully automatic rifle in the hands of somebody who's never fired a firearm a day in their life, much less put a 5.56/223 pistol with a maybe 7.5, maybe 8-inch barrel overall. I doubt it was even that. And give it to them in full auto. That thing is going to fucking be so inaccurate, it's not going to be worth a shit after about 15 yards in most actually competent people's hands. That being said, they're trying to shoot individual things from a distance, trying to aim for small targets, essentially. They're not small targets, no spoilers, just saying broad spectrum, verbiage here. They're aiming for small targets with fully automatic pistols with magnifiers and basically a 4x ACOG on the top of this fucking pistol. It's ridiculous, folks. The pistols, the gun design in this was absolutely ridiculous. There was one gun that made actually a lot of fucking sense for what they were fighting. It was a fucking shotgun, folks. A shotgun. And the majority of individuals were being handed these fucking fully automatic pistol things that number one, I don't think they would be fun to shoot even if I had one, but I would take one. I'm just saying, if anybody wanted to send me one, I would take it. Like I said, if anybody wanted to send me one, I would take it without question. However, it's nothing but a fucking range toy. And to be completely honest, the optic would end up on my long rifle. Like a 16-inch long rifle, because it's not going to be worth a shit on anything less than 14, to be honest. So I'm just completely baffled by gun designs in Hollywood. It doesn't surprise me they know absolutely nothing about it, but it is the way it is. Like I said, if you can look past the gun design or the fact that they blatantly are firing 75, 80 rounds without reloading these things with standard capacity magazines, which I was actually surprised they were actually standard capacity magazines, seeing as they came out of Hollywood, but they are standard 30-round capacity magazines. Yes, that is standard capacity, California and New York. I don't know why you guys think it's not, but standard capacity. Like I said, I didn't mean to make this an advertisement for the Tomorrow War, but it is definitely worth supporting Chris Pratt and that movie in its entirety. It is the #1 streaming movie on Prime right now for a reason. Like I said, it is entertaining. Even for a time travel movie. Yes, it is a time travel movie. If you don't know that already, I'm not spoiling anything. Watch a trailer, motherfucker. But hey, this has been Tactical Pineapple. I'd like to say once again, I appreciate everything you do. Give a like, a comment, a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Keep it 2 wheels down, shiny side up, and carry your fucking pistols, folks. But hopefully it's not a Tomorrow War pistol because it's useless.